So hi everyone, I'm Tom. I'm software engineer at Dagger. It's been like 2 years I'm working in this company, and something I did way before Go and like Venice and stuff was about the Q universe, and I spent a lot of time working on this. So universe, so basically reusable module. And with the new version of Dagger that is not released, but you can already try it, it's called Zenith. We kind of have the same principle where you can build your own modules and extend it. So since we built that, I started to play with it and try to make some modules, try to find the right way to develop them, try to find some patterns that everyone could reuse. So if you want to try Zenith, want to try to build your own modules, I hope this presentation will help you, especially because it's pretty hard to start with sometime. You will see like some really cool features of Zenith that you can use for your own modules to match your own use case. So I have a repository. I'm not going to share everything, but I'm going to share the Node module and the Redis module. And something cool is the way I tested, because I built like my own module, so that I call CI, that can test all my modules. So let's begin with the Node module. So basically, the idea is that if you wanna manage a Node repository, either use npm yarn or yarn, you can use this module to manage your whole CI. So something interesting with Zenith is that you can define a type and store a state, and this state can contain anything you want. It can be like standard types like strings, ints, but you can also store structure and Dagger types. So what I did is that I created some patterns that you can use to like that kind of mimics the current Dagger API. So you can add some option to a Node container, so you can like kickstart it, and then you can like add a version, add source, configure a package and stuff. So I'm not going to go too deep into the code, at least not for now, but you can ask me question if you have any. But I will go into the GraphQL query so you can see like how it works. So basically, I did a CI, and this is pretty straightforward. And then all the magic happened when you import the package. And then I created like an integration test for all those packages. First for the Node one. So basically I get my source, spin up a container. So I reuse, if you remember, I had a with version method right here. And so I can just like call it from another package. So I get the version of Node. I give the source. So the source is just our Dagger repository SDK / Node.js, but you can replace it with your own Node package, your own Node code or application. And then I'm starting I made like basically a CI in concurrency that tests with Yarn and with npm. Indeed, it's pretty like simple, but the idea behind is to show how you can use concurrency and packages to manage your repository. So for instance, the node will do something simple, just check the version, or just like a dummy check, verifying that I can use like the node version and the node image container is configured correctly. And then I can run the lint, indeed in concurrency, because Dagger is really cool and you can support concurrency, which makes your whole CI going really, really fast. I can build a project. And I try to publish. So I need the secret token of Dagger. And because I don't want it to like make the demo too complicated, I did not like put it, but it's possible also to try the publication. And basically anything you want to do with your, like that you are currently doing with your Node repository, you can integrate it into this Zenith module and use your CI with Dagger Zenith. So that's pretty cool. I can just show the demo. So something I wanted to mention that why I have not written like a really complex GraphQL query in order to do all of this is because writing GraphQL is not really like the most straightforward thing to do. It can become pretty complex, especially because I have a lot of code Dagger calls. So I prefer to integrate everything into a module. And surprisingly, it was really easy with Zenith to import my Node package in order to build a CI for my repository. And so everything is cached indeed because Dagger can cache everything, but we can see that I execute everything. So I try to build my project, I try to lint it, etc. So pretty cool. Zenith has a great like capabilities to extend one module to another, and like you can combine a lot of stuff. For instance, my integration test do not just only test the Node package, it also tests the Redis one. So I'm just going to present this one too. It's a bit different than the Node one because we have to spin up a service. With the recent version of Dagger, you can bind containers to another, like you would do in a Docker Compose, but it will like run on Dagger. So same principle. I don't store the container. I store just information like the Redis port, the version, and like a password if you want to use authentication on your Redis server. Same idea. I use with method that I made to fill the field in Redis. So nothing is happening on Dagger side right now. It's only filling the structure. And then I've made a method server that will create the Dagger. And this is where everything is executed. The cool thing with that is that since Dagger has a lazy evaluation, everything will be really fast. Like the whole configuration will be really fast because you just set variable, and the operation that will take time will actually be executed when you really need it. So that's a really nice way to win time, to gain time. And so I create a server, set environment variable if I need. I can use secret. I mean, like, I guess everyone know the current capabilities of Dagger. I can expose my port and I can read my port and I can return the container. Same thing for the CLI. I just reuse my server, but then I change the entry point to use the Redis CLI, add the secret variable in case I use password, and then I bind the server. So right now it's possible to spin up a Redis server, spin up a CLI, and interact from Dagger Zenith, and from like integrate between each other, like from Dagger Zenith, and everything were containerized inside Dagger with cache. So indeed, it's pretty fast. And I integrate the set and get commands, so you can basically use the Redis CLI, but inside Zenith Dagger. I also made integration test for that, which is like, I'm just gonna look. Okay. Which is like pretty straightforward. Created a secret to set up authentication. Create a Redis container. I spin up the server right here. I spin up the CLI and send the server, and then I can basically set or get any key. So I also made some tests for that. And so what is cool with that is that if you have any stack that is using Redis and you want to try Zenith, you can basically import my module and you already have a working Redis server that you can just bind to your actual application that I recommend to wrap around a module. Imagine you have like an application called food. You can create a food module, create a container that will start your application. You can bind your Redis, and then you don't have to use Docker Compose anymore to, for instance, integration tests or just for your proof of concept or like anything. So this is pretty cool because you benefit from the speed of Dagger, the cache, and at the same time, you can extend your Zenith model with like basically anything, but it does not change that much your way, like your way of developing. You're just like your way of programming. Sorry, you're just going basically faster because you wrap all your stack into Zenith. So I have other module that I'm working on, Golang CI. Plan to do something with Postgres too. and like other like really popular database. So if you use Zenith, you can basically just import the database, integrate it to your project, and really improve your development process. About the CI, I did something pretty simple. So as I said, everything ran concurrency. I use the capabilities of Dagger to return structure in order to apply some constraint to your queries. For example, if you call integration test, which is what I do right here, you will not be able to call like all the method of, for instance, container or form secret, which is really cool because you will really scope like the method you can use. And this really helps when you're programming with Dagger and with Zenith, because you have two ways of doing like a module. You can either extend current Dagger types, or you can create your own, which will apply, which will like, if you had methods to your own types, that will be like the only method you can call. And it's avoid like to have like 50 methods, and like you have to search for the method you just created. This is basically also what I done on the node one. If you call node, like you can only call with version or with container, with source, etc. But in order to still benefit from like all Dagger method, because they are kind of useful, especially when you want to plug a service, when you want to add some secret variable, some config file, I still recommend to add a container method that we just return the container you store in your state. So this is a great way to make a module easy to use, but at the same time extensible, because no one has the same need. So like if you want to try my module on your repository and you have spatial requirements like spatial variables, spatial stuff, you can totally just use a container method and extend it for your own use. And so, yeah, I guess this is the end of my presentation. Feel free to reach out if you need anything, but I hope my module will help you to start with Dagger and with Zenith and have some fun, because it was surprisingly really, really amazing to work on this.